The night had started just like any other. A backyard full of laughter, the delicious scent of grilled meat, the haze of beer and sweat in the air. The guys were telling stories, joking about work and relationships, trading past mistakes. It was easy, uncomplicated, the kind of night I loved. Then everything changed. I barely noticed Ryan at first. He nudged me, grinning, and shoved his phone in front of my face. "Dude, check this out," he laughed, as though about to show me some ridiculous prank. But then I heard it. A sound, familiar, intimate, unmistakable. My grip on the beer bottle tightened, and I felt the air leave my lungs. I barely processed it before the screen came into focus. A hotel room, dimly lit, bodies tangled in a way that made my stomach churn. At first, my brain refused to accept it, to believe it, but then there she was. My wife. The way she moved, the sounds she made, things that only I should know. But it wasn't just one man. There were two. The blood drained from my face as reality hit me. My heart pounded in my chest, the world around me fading into static. I had to be mistaken, right? It was a bad angle, a trick of the light, the video quality, anything but the truth. But then I saw her smile. That smile. The one she used to give me. It sent a chill down my spine so cold it burned. The timestamp appeared on the screen. Last week. A week ago. The same week she'd told me she was out at a girls' night. A week ago, when I kissed her goodbye before leaving for work, thinking I was going to come home to a loyal wife. My stomach twisted violently, nausea threatening to claw its way up. Ryan was still oblivious, still grinning, still sipping his beer. "She's wild, huh?" he laughed. "They said she's married, but..." His words trailed off as my fingers wrapped around his throat before I even realized I'd moved. His back slammed into the wooden fence with a dull thud, the beer bottle slipping from his hand and shattering on the ground. The voices around us rose in confusion, but I couldn't hear them. I could only hear the low, icy tone of my own voice. "You have 10 seconds, bastard. Tell me everything, or I'll turn you into dust." Ryan's smirk disappeared as panic replaced it. His hands shot up, gripping my wrists, but I barely felt them. "Whoa, man, chill," he stammered. "9, she," his voice cracked. "I didn't know it was your wife, I swear. Jeff sent it in our group chat. Said it was some married chick who likes to play around." 8, I breathed, my voice dangerously calm. Ryan's eyes darted to the side, searching for help, but none of the others moved. "Someplace downtown," he said quickly. "They meet there often, I think." 7, I pressed, my voice quieter now, the kind of quiet that made people nervous. "She's been doing this for a while, hasn't she?" Ryan hesitated, and I knew that was the worst part. It wasn't just one mistake. She'd been doing this behind my back for a long time. Something snapped inside me. I let go of him, and he collapsed against the fence, gasping for breath, rubbing his neck like he had just escaped death itself. Maybe he had. I turned away, my hands shaking, not with fear, but with raw, focused rage. I could have beaten him bloody right there, but that would have been too easy. Too merciful. I wanted her to suffer. I wanted her to feel every ounce of the betrayal, the humiliation, the pain that was flooding through me. She thought she had gotten away with it. She thought she was safe. She had no idea what was coming for her. Without saying a word, I left the party. No goodbyes. No explanations. Just grabbed my keys and walked out. My body was running on pure adrenaline, the night air cool against my skin. But it did nothing to calm the fire burning inside me. My mind replayed the video over and over, every detail, every movement, every sound. And she looked happy. That was the part that twisted my stomach. She wasn't drunk, she wasn't hesitant, she wasn't regretting it. She was enjoying herself. She had made her choice. Fine. Now it was my turn. I slid into my car, my fingers gripping the steering wheel so tightly that my knuckles turned white. Revenge had to be perfect. It had to be public, humiliating, something she could never recover from. But first I needed proof. The first lead Ryan had given me, a hotel downtown. It was a start. I didn't need him anymore. He was a coward. But he had given me the key to unravel everything. I drove in silence, my mind racing. There were dozens of hotels in the city, but I knew my wife. She wasn't spontaneous. She was a creature of habit. She wouldn't go somewhere random. She'd go somewhere familiar, somewhere comfortable. And then I remembered. A few months ago, she'd treated herself to a spa weekend with her friends. At the time, I hadn't thought much of it. I was working a case, barely home. But when she came back, she was different. Relaxed, happy, more affectionate than usual. I had assumed she just needed a break. Now I knew better. I pulled over and searched my phone for luxury hotels with a spa. 3 options popped up. I started with the most expensive one, the Park Regency Hotel. 5 stars. Sleek. Modern. Exactly the kind of place my wife would pick. The parking lot was half full, and the lobby was quiet, with only a few guests lingering near the bar. I walked up to the receptionist, forcing a polite smile. "Hey, my brother was staying here last weekend, but he lost something in his room. I don't know the room number, but he was here with a woman, blonde, blue dress, loud laugh. Might be under his name or hers." The receptionist hesitated, then glanced at the computer screen. "I'm sorry, sir, but we can't give out guest information." "Of course," I said smoothly, pulling out a $100 bill and sliding it across the counter. "I just need to know if he checked out already." She hesitated again. Then the money disappeared, and she typed quickly, nodding. "They checked out 3 days ago." I leaned in, my voice quiet but firm. "Do you have security cameras in the hallways?" "Of course," she replied. "Perfect." I smiled, because I think my wife was here with another man. Before I confronted her, I needed to be absolutely sure. Her expression softened when she saw me, as though she had an inkling of what I was about to do. She exhaled, glancing around nervously. "We're not supposed to, but give me 5 minutes," she whispered. I nodded, my heart racing, and waited by the lounge, pretending to scroll through my phone. 5 minutes later, she returned, her eyes cautious. In her hand was a small USB drive. "This is from the hallway cameras," she said quietly. "It resets every week, so it's all I have." I took the drive from her, my fingers brushing hers briefly. "Thank you," I murmured, and then I left, my mind spinning. At home, I plugged the USB into my laptop. The footage was grainy but clear enough. There she was, my wife, holding hands with a man I didn't recognize, laughing, kissing him in the hallway before they disappeared into a suite. A cold, icy wave washed over me as I stared at the screen. I saved the footage, and then the real planning began. She wanted excitement, a thrill? Fine. I would give her something unforgettable. I sat there, staring at the screen, the proof undeniable. There was no escaping it. She had been mine, and she had given herself to someone else. But confronting her in that moment would have been too easy, too merciful. I didn't want her to just cry and beg. I wanted her to suffer. I needed to make her feel every ounce of the pain, betrayal, and humiliation I was drowning in. Step 1. The illusion of normalcy. If I confronted her now, she'd cry, beg for forgiveness, try to twist things in her favor. I wasn't interested in excuses. I had to act completely normal. The next morning, I made breakfast like I always did: bacon, scrambled eggs, coffee. I even kissed her on the forehead when she walked into the kitchen. She smiled at me, completely unaware. "Morning, babe," she stretched, her voice soft. "Did you sleep okay?" I forced a small chuckle, trying to act natural. "Yeah, I slept great." That wasn't a lie. I had slept well, because I had a plan. She sat down, scrolling through her phone, probably texting her friends. I sipped my coffee, watching her carefully. "How was the party last night?" she asked, glancing up at me. "Same old," I shrugged. "Work talk, bad beer, Ryan being an idiot." She smirked. "I bet," she said. I wanted to grab my phone, open the video, and shove it in her face. I wanted to scream, "Look at what you've done. Look at what you've thrown away." But I didn't. Instead, I smiled, knowing that the longer she thought everything was fine, the harder her fall would be. Step 2, the perfect stage. I wasn't just going to expose her. I was going to ruin her. My wife wasn't just any woman. She had a reputation to uphold. She was an influencer, obsessed with social media, always posting about her perfect life, her flawless marriage, her beautiful image. She thrived on admiration, and I was going to burn that to the ground. Her birthday was coming up in a week. She had been planning a big party, a fancy venue, expensive catering, all her friends and family attending. It was the perfect setting. The more people, the better. So, I took control and sent out the invitations myself. Step 3, the weapon. Proof wasn't enough. I needed something that would have a real impact. I compiled everything: the hotel footage, screenshots of her texts extracted from her cloud backup, bank transactions, hotel charges, gifts she'd bought him. All neatly arranged into one perfectly edited video. No commentary needed. The evidence spoke for itself. Once it was ready, I scheduled an automatic email blast. The delivery time? 9 p.m., right in the middle of her party. Step 4, letting her dig her own grave. The The days leading up to her birthday were almost comical. She was excited, talking nonstop about the party, picking out outfits, coordinating decorations, bragging to her friends about how amazing her life was. She even kissed me more than usual, maybe out of guilt. I played along, smiling, laughing, pretending she had no idea that by this time next week, her entire world would be burning. The night of the party, the venue was packed. Music filled the air, laughter echoed, and everyone was there to celebrate her. She was in her element, wearing a shimmering gold dress, drinking champagne, glowing with confidence. The queen of the night. In less than an hour, she'd become the biggest joke in the room. The calm before the storm. I mingled, shaking hands with old friends, colleagues, family. She flitted through the crowd, beaming, completely unaware. "God, you really went all out," her best friend Rachel said, raising her glass. "She's so lucky to have you." I just smiled. Oh, she's lucky, all right. Lucky she made it this far without being exposed. At 8:50 p.m., she took the stage for a little speech. "I just want to thank my amazing husband," she gushed, blowing me a kiss. "I'm so blessed to have him in my life." The irony nearly made me choke. I raised my glass, nodding, playing my part. "Anything for you, babe." The crowd cheered. She basked in the attention. 5 minutes left. The first crack. At 8:59 p.m., my phone buzzed. The scheduled email was sent. I took a sip of my drink, watching the chaos slowly begin. It started with a few people pulling out their phones, confused murmurs, and then the first gasp. "What the hell?" someone muttered. A woman covered her mouth, staring at her screen in disbelief. Then another and another. Her father, her mother, her best friend. And then her. She noticed the shift in the crowd, the way people were staring at her. Whispering. "What's going on?" she asked, forcing a nervous laugh. Then Rachel's voice cut through the noise. "Tell me this is fake," she said, holding up her phone. The video played on loop. The hotel room, the moaning, her voice, her betrayal broadcasted to everyone she loved. Silence. Then chaos. Her mother started crying. Her father turned red with rage. Friends backed away, disgusted. Her perfect image shattered in seconds. And then she turned to me. "You." Her voice cracked. "You did this." I tilted my head, barely able to contain a smile. "Did what?" "You exposed me," she shrieked, stepping closer. "You ruined my life." I laughed, a bitter, hollow laugh. "No, you ruined your own life. I just gave everyone front row seats." She grabbed my arm, desperation in her eyes. "We can fix this," she pleaded. I pulled away, my voice calm but firm. "You don't get it, do you? It's over." And then, to make sure she understood the finality of it, I pulled out the divorce papers. "Sign these," I said coldly, "or I'll make sure this video doesn't just stay between us. I'll make sure your sponsors, your brands, and every company you work with sees it too." Her face drained of color. She looked around at the crowd. No one was on her side. Her best friend had betrayed her, her parents were ashamed, and she had lost everything. The final blow came when security escorted her out of the venue, the crowd whispering. The party was over. As I stepped out into the cool night air, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time: freedom. And damn, did it feel good. Was my revenge justified? Or did I go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your take. And if you love jaw-dropping revenge stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash the like. Every like, share, and subscription means the world to us and helps us keep bringing you the stories you crave. Thank you for being part of our community.